What's up, guys, and welcome to another BullRush live stream. My name's Davin Spurrier, and as always, I'm here live and direct coming out of beautiful South Florida in the United States. And I just wanted to welcome all 53,381 BullRush traders. We're almost at 60K. We just hit 50K last Friday. I was able to announce 50K. We're already up to 3,381 more, and I'm sure if I look at the dashboard right real quick here, just give me one moment. Right, yeah, sorry about that. And I'm sure if I look at the dashboard, yep, we're already at 53,415. So just in the time when I wrote this down 15 minutes ago, we've gotten another 100 people. So welcome, everybody. We got some really, really great news for you today. Of course, this has been, I feel like all year has been every single week. I say this, but this has been a crazy week in the news. We've got tariff updates. We've got some crypto updates. We've got some currency updates in Forex, and of course, like always, we're always got something new with BullRush. So we'll get into all of that today in today's show. As always, if you have anything to say or if you have any questions or any comments, I have the live chat open. I'm always looking at the live chat, and I will answer any of your questions, concerns, or comments. If you want to chat, I'm here to chat. I'm here to talk things through, give me your opinion on some of the news stories or on some of the BullRush things, and I'm happy to go over any of that. Without further ado, let's get right into it. Like I said, you're not gonna want to miss the news that I got here. I got a full report on the trade war, so we'll break down every single tariff update between the U.S. and China and all the other countries, and we'll go over all of that in a moment. But before we do that, let's cover some housekeeping here and go over some BullRush updates. Let's get into it. Man, do I look short in this camera. There you go. Well, welcome to BullRush. As always, right now we have our creators leaderboard competition. So I know everybody has been waiting for that. So we'll announce where everybody's standing with that right now. If you don't know, we're giving away, as you can see right here, perfect timing, $4,000 in cash prizes to the top 3 people who build the build your own competition with the most amount of people. How do you do that, Davin, you ask? Well, you go over here to the competitions tab, click build your own, and you are here. Here you can see all of the competitions that people have built. It looks like a Bitcoin race for $5 to enter. That's private, and a few other ones. But the way you do it, you just go over here, click build your own. Give me one moment. All you guys watching on Twitter, let me make sure we're all good here. Sorry, I just got a little notification. We are all good. Let me know if everybody can hear me good. Doot 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 doot. Little prize if anybody can tell me where that is from. Doot 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 doot. I'll give a prize. Tell me where that's from and give me your BullRush username, and I will. First prize. I'm already getting. Look, we're 4 minutes into the live stream. I'm already giving away prizes. So if you can say doot 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 doot, tell me where that is. That's from, and I'll shoot you over a prize. So without further ado, back into it. Go over here, click build your own competition, and you can create your own competition here. Select the name of the competition, select the start time, duration, all that good stuff, starting balance, maximum drawdown, 1,000 credits, because every 100 credits equals $1. So basic math there, 1,000 divided by 100 equals 10. Well, yeah, 10. So that would mean 10 times 10 equals 100. So I'll decide my rate is 10%. Boom, here 10%. That means I get 10% of every entry fee. So out of $10, 1,000 credits is the entry fee. 100 credits or $1 goes to the platform cost, not us. That goes to GUI trades. That's what it costs to create a platform or an account. 100 credits goes to the creator or you or me or whoever's creating the competition. That's where that rate comes in. And then the BullRush fee is 2% or 20 credits, so 20 cents goes to BullRush because we got to make a little as well for server costs and all of that stuff. And then, of course, the remaining 88% or $8.80 goes into the prize pool. You can select Forex, indices, crypto, oil, and if it is a free competition, you can select stocks as well right here. You select the prize pool, how you want the prizes distributed. First prize, second, third prize. You want the top 10 people getting prizes, however you want it to, distributed. Pick your cards. This is going to be the main header, what's going to be at the top of the banner. Like, I don't have it here, but it'll be at the very top. And then your competition cards, which, this is the competition card. And then these are the banners, which are at the very top. So you want to select all three sizes, one for desktop, one for tablet, and one for mobile. What's up, Master Trade for Best? How you doing, brother? Good morning, BullRush family. Pleasure to be back. Real scenario, seeing with tariffs in some industries in China closing their doors. Nice to see you again, bro. Is my boy from Twitch who was there last week? He said he would never miss another live stream. Let me see if you're here. You better be here. All right. Never mind. I'm not going to waste time on that. But you better... here you go. Nope. All right. Well, let me know when you're here. I know you were very happy about the live stream last time. Yo, yo, yo. What's up, Ferd? I can't even say your name. Sorry. Ferdit. How are you doing, brother? Welcome to the stream. Haven't seen your name before. Don't worry. Right now, we're just going over some housekeeping, some BullRush updates, and some leaderboard updates, and then we'll get into the nice, juicy news that everybody's waiting for in a moment here. Anyways, wanted to say that while we're here on the main page, so to make sure you create your own competition, because not only can you win up to 20 or earn up to 23% of all the entrance fees if it is a paid competition, but you're also automatically entered into this competition where you can win up to $2,500 just for participating, just by getting the most. And if you want a leaderboard update, I'll give you the leaderboard update right now really quick. So as of last night, now if anything changed, oh, what's up, Cabral? How you doing, brother? Nice to see you again. Cabral is one of our goats. Master Trade for Best is of course a goat of BullRush. Everybody's seen him in the live stream every week. Everybody's seen him in Discord. And Cabral, if you're in Discord, you've seen Cabral in Discord too. Another goat of BullRush, one of the greats. But like I said, this is the update as of right now. This is the update as of right now. So we got Forex prop reviews in first place with 119 active traders. We got in second place DYOOF Lagos in second place with 94 active traders, and we got Bogak in third place with 33 active traders in the running to secure that $500 prize. Remember, you have until the end of April 30th, to get that, so your competition has to start, because like I said, it's not just how many people are in your competition, it's how many active traders are in your competition. So just to give you a quick example of that, if we go to Dio, we can see he has 123 traders in his competition, or 149 actually total. But out of those 149, what was it, 149? Yeah, out of those 149, as of last night, again, it might have changed today, but as of last night, only 94 people placed a trade, but he still secured that second place prize, and, you know, he's very close here to getting that first place prize, so I'll be really interested to see what happens here in the next 2 weeks to secure that first place prize. On other news, which we saw here in the beginning in the homepage here as well, we have our XP Championship competition. So not only does first place, if we go over here to the monthly leaderboard, not only if you hit first place do you receive $750, second place, or the person with the second most, I don't know why it switched, didn't, oh, here you go. Not only will first place win $750, second place will win $250, and third place will win $100. But you'll also be entered into the XP leaderboard championship competition, which is right here, where first place will win 25,000 credits or $250. Second place will win 100 credits, $100 or 10,000 credits, and third place will win 5,000 credits or $50. What does that mean? That means if you hit first place in that XP monthly leaderboard, not only, and you get first place in this XP championship competition, not only will you win $750 from getting the most amount of XP that month, you'll also win the $250 for getting first place for that. 750 plus 250, what does that equal? $1,000, 1,000 smackaroos. I see Master Trade for Best talking about arepas with beef in the chat here. I know those cost about, where I am, there's a stand costs about $2, $3 for an arepa. You could get an awful lot of arepas for $1,000. So make sure you get in there. Make sure you do use your XP. You can earn XP a million different ways. There's literally millions and millions and millions of ways to earn XP here. You can do daily XP, answering trivia correctly, just placing in a competition anywhere from 1st to 10th place, or even, you pretty much, as long as you're top 1,000 or you don't get disqualified, you earn some sort of XP. Even if you're 1,000 or more, you get 1 XP. If you're 500 to 1,000, you earn 5, so on and so on and so on. Point is, there's billions of ways to earn XP, just buying credits, just buying challenges, registering for competitions, being one of the first 10 people to register for a competition just gets you 100 credits right there. Entering lots of different, I'm not going to waste all that time going through all those different ways to enter a competition, but there's many, many, many different ways to enter a competition. While we're talking about competitions, don't forget right now we have our 1-hour trading competition, our 1-hour trade rush, starting here in 16 minutes and 40 seconds. That is for all you swing traders, not swing traders, for all you scalpers and all you intraday traders. This is your competition. If you want to gamble, if you want to put all your eggs in one basket, hop in this competition. This is a really, really great competition to hop in and make some stuff happen. Yes, so we have that. Like I said, so for March, which was last month, the top 50 people have already been entered. So these are the top 50 people of last month. DXY, let's get into some meat and potatoes before I continue just talking about competitions and BullRush updates. There are some more updates here coming very soon. Actually, I don't want to show you the screen, but let me pull up something really exciting that I'm working on that's not out yet. Are you ready? Before we get into DXY, I just wanted to show you one more thing that we're going over, which is going to be groundbreaking and next level. Just wait. You ready? 3, 2, 1, boom. We're coming out with our own course here. We're going to be covering we're going to have a bunch of courses, but for right now, just to start off, we're going to have just the basics of Forex. We're going to have, what is Forex, what's a pip, types of analysis, types of charts, understanding chart time frames, Forex indicators, parabolic SAR, Bollinger Bands, candlesticks, everything you need to know about candlesticks, reversals, trend lines, using trend lines, pivot points, using pivot points, and of course, a final exam to make sure that you got all that information and it's retained. And of course, if you didn't read right here, it is free. free 99, the best price in the world. Why do we do this? Because we we talk to so many traders who go around and they find, and especially obviously brand new traders who don't know much about trading, and maybe they just want to get their foot in the door. They don't even know what a candlestick or a Bollinger Band is or any of that stuff, and they just want to get into their foot in the door and learn what it is. And they go and they find some course online that's $2, $3, $4, $500, maybe even $1,000, $2,000, and it says we'll teach you the basics of forex. We'll give you free Discord access. With obviously it's not free because you're paying for the course, but we'll give you Discord access where you have an opportunity to be in a community with new traders and bounce ideas off each other and get trade analysis and all that stuff. And of course we'll teach you the basics of forex. Well, guess what? Those basics are pretty much stuff you can get on YouTube, Baby Pips, and now BullRushAcademy.com for free. All of this stuff is completely free to you, and it hasn't released yet. This is a private page, but we'll announce very soon here when you can go on here and get this free course and just elevate yourself, whether you're a brand new trader or you've already been trading for a while and you just need a little bit of a refresh. This is going to be game changing. No more wasting your money on education. And this goes back to what BullRush really stands for at its core, is making trading available to anybody around the world, no matter who you are, no matter your education level, no matter where you live in the world. We think that everybody should have the ability to trade, and everybody should have the ability to learn how to trade. And this is just another way of doing this right now. Of course, this course is just a very basic Forex course teaching you about the basics of Forex trading, charts, and realistically you can use this for crypto and stocks as well. Some of the lessons here about charts and different trends and pivots and Bollingers and all that stuff you can use for most different assets, but specifically right now we're starting off with Forex. Like I said, this is the first free course of many. We want to be the biggest trading company. We want to be the biggest. Well, we'll announce it soon. If you're in our I almost just said it. Jeez. If you're in our Discord, you know what we've been talking about. We got two crazy announcements coming forward. One of them is something that all of you guys have been asking us for forever, and we're going to change the space in that field. It rhymes with crop term. It rhymes with crop term, if you ever heard of it. But we'll be changing the game, that whole space, very soon, making it way more accessible, way more fair, and way more transparent. But so keep a lookout for that. We'll be announcing that very soon here. Now to your question, Master Trade Forex, how do I see DXY? Well, we're going to be talking about that in our news stories here. Let me go to GUI trades here and pull up some charts. Oh, so how do I? Great opportunity right here. I go to GUI trades and I don't know how to log in. What do? I go over here. I go to trading accounts and I click username. I go and I paste the username in the email, which is just my email, and then I go and I click copy password. Go over here to the password section, paste my password, sign in, and boom shakalaka, I am in. Now for DXY. One sec. Whoa, my computer just froze here. I'm sorry. Well, let me not do this. Sorry, I'm going to pull up a different chart here just to get a little bit of a better view here. Here's US 30. So we can see it has been what chart size am I on here? Yeah, we can see here back on April 11th. Oh, well, this is all today. One sec. Oh, I was reading this backwards. So we can see this morning we got a slight dip. Whole time during all these tariff talks, it's been going down. Realistically, I think it's going to be in this same trajectory as far as like this macro trajectory here for a while. Uh, Let me get some. Whoa! Did not mean to. Where is? There you go. So yeah, if we're looking here, this is about the trend line at the moment. I think we're going to be sticking with this trend for a while, probably the next at least week or two while things settle down with these tariffs. Like I said before, with the tariffs, it's one of two things that are going to happen, and that is either we're going to keep negotiating like we just I mean, let's just get into some news here since we're on it. I was going to say you know, either well, we already lifted all of the tariffs for another 90 days except for China, so we'll see how that goes. Yeah, just below 100 now. Isn't that crazy? We're at 99. Let's get to a yeah. We're moving. We're moving. Yeah, below 100. But like I said, I think this is very, very temporary. I think we're seeing a lot of volatility here just because nobody knows what's happening, right? We haven't really seen this. A lot of people, especially a lot of newer traders who haven't been in the market forever, we don't know where this is all coming from, right? We haven't seen something like this since in over 10 years, or I guess, yeah, over 10 years. So, I think there's just a lot of uncertainty right now. I think, like, especially the tariff percentages, we've not, I mean, I'm 26. I haven't seen tariffs like that, in a long, ever. So, I think people just don't know how to react. People don't know what's going to happen to the market. And at the end of the day, all we can do is wait and pray and, put in as one of our um, one of our members on Discord mentioned, they set out a poll that was like, what do you think we should do? Should we let me pull up the poll here. What was it? Sorry, I'm looking for the poll here in the Discord. Well, all right, I can't find it. There's a lot of messages in the Discord, but pretty much it was like, what do you got? What are you doing? Are you buying the dip? Are you holding? And there's a response in there I saw that was like, I'm buying and praying because what you're either holding off and seeing what's going on, or you're just all you can do is buy and pray because like I said, I think everybody has opinions, everybody has analysis. I think technical analysis is very you know very limited right now. There's only so much you could do with technical analysis just because there's so much news events going on and so much uncertainty. I've talked to people recently that were telling me that they're pretty much ICT traders usually, and they only trade the charts and stuff like that. And right now they're not throwing everything out the window, but they're really reevaluating their strategy for the short term right now because so volatile, and it's almost like we got to live day by day and news trade every day. um let's do a quick commercial and then we'll switch to our first news story, what everybody's been waiting for. We're going to get into the meat, the juiciness of these trade wars.
Welcome to BullRush Trading Competitions, where the thrill of trading meets the excitement of competitions. Are you ready to win big cash prizes? Well, come compete with BullRush, where you have the ability on a daily, weekly, and monthly basis to win real cash prizes. At BullRush, we believe that trading competitions should be challenging and rewarding at the same time. You'll join an elite group of traders from around the world as you compete for cash prizes in these daily, weekly, and month-long competitions. We look forward to seeing you there. At BullRush, there's a competition for every skill set as well as every style of trading. We have day trader competitions where you can test your scalping strategies. We have weekly and month-long competitions where you can go and test your swing trading and position holding competitions. We even have news trading competitions where you can test your skills during news events to see if you are a good trader. Additionally, we have multi-round competitions and tournaments where it's a multi-stage where traders get divided into groups and they progress through the different groups until ultimately a champion is crowned in the final round. These last anywhere from 2 rounds to 12-round durations. With BullRush, you're not just joining a trading competition, you're joining a community. We foster a great competitive environment through our Discord channels, through our YouTube videos, and even through live chat features within the dashboard. And don't just trade once. Our unique XP score system allows you to grow at your own pace through our unique tracking mechanism, where you earn points for anything you do in the system, from logging in to answering daily trivia to competing in competitions. Of course, if you win the competitions, you get more XP and you grow as a trader throughout that process. So are you ready to take your trading to the next level with BullRush? Click the link to join now and start winning cash prizes.
Thank you, Trent. Thank you, Trent. That was really good. Well, like we said, tensions are rising between the US and China, and global currency markets are really starting to feel the heat, as I'm sure everybody that's watching this and is trading this week has noticed. Excuse me. The US dollar has plummeted to its lowest level in a decade against the Swiss franc and hit a 3-year low against the euro. The move comes as trade tensions between Washington and Beijing reach a boiling point. China announced new retaliatory tariffs on US goods this week, which will break down everything on that in the next news story, but a move that spooked investors and triggered a broader sell-off in U.S. stocks and treasuries as fears sweep traders and as fears fear spreads, traders are rushing into safe haven currencies like Swiss franc and Japanese yen, both of which saw significant gains this week. Let's get into some of those that we just talked about here. Where we at? Solana. Oh wow, sorry, I just got distracted. Solana's doing pretty good, pumping here today. Pretty good. We'll get into crypto in a little bit later here, but let me look up USD. Here you go. Yeah. Okay. So we got. Oh, why'd I get so? There you go. I don't know why I was so out of focus here for a sec. But look at this. Absolutely crushing it here. Yesterday when the lift on the tariffs were announced, and then also we announced. Well, we'll get into it, but the exact percentage was. Yesterday was 125%. Well, yeah, theirs raised to 125%. Ours was raised to 125%. So both were raised a lot yesterday, and then this morning. We'll get into it. There's another announcement that got raised even higher in the U.S. So, yes, of course, we see that absolutely pump-a-dumping. Not dumping, but pumping. Just was making a funny thing. And then what did we talk about? The yes, Swiss franc. So, go over here to the... Yes, absolutely dumping over here. Very interesting. We just had our hourly competition start. Um, yeah, 120. Well, give me like 30 seconds. I'm about to get into it. But this morning we actually announced that the cumulative tariff in on China is actually 145%. Uh, yeah, and then and then China's tariff on us went up to 125%. So ours is 145, theirs on us is 125 now. But like I said, I'm gonna break down day by day exactly what happened this last week. Cabral and Master Trade for Best, are you guys in this hour-long competition? I'm gonna look for you guys. Oh, cold above 32. Too bad I have a tungsten wedding ring, not a gold one. But yeah, let's look at gold real quick. Jeez Louise, man. Yeah, absolutely. Let's just look at yeah, just look at gold like the last. I know this is very zoomed out, but oh, you haven't competed in a while now, Cabral. But just look at this since October. Just look at the like look at the rise of this since October. If you would we were at 1900 back in October. We're at 3000. Like, what is it? October. Oh yeah, so November. Yeah, or November's right here. Yeah, we're at 19,000, and the whole time it's always kind of hung around 19,000 to 2,000, 19,000 to 2,000, 19,000 to 2,000. You know, for the last few, and then back, starting in what's the February, I'd say, maybe, or I guess we can say this is the lowest point here, 1,800 back in October, and then it just started pumping, pumping, pumping up here. Let's check out a little closer here today. April 9th. Geez, yeah. So right, April 9th was in the heat of all the back and forth here with China and the U.S., and we can just see gold absolutely crushing it here on the charts. Anybody with some of these long positions on gold is killing it right now. Wow. I didn't even realize that. What's today? Wow. Wow. Sorry, I just got distracted here. I'm zoned out. This is crazy, crazy. Master Trade for Best, are you in here, Lo? Let's check out you. Uh, Boom! My dog in here right now. Only 1% back from the leader. Master Trade for Best, I'm hoping I can see you here in the top soon. What place are you in right now? Well, you were 1.11, weren't you? Huh. Anyways, you can still join this competition, by the way, too. If you haven't yet, make sure you hop into this competition. You can join. I know there's only one prize, and the prize is free entry into the Profit Quest, but that can mean up to $750 because it's $1,000 minimum. Remember, that's every single week, only $5. Before I go into the next news story, that just reminded me, we got to check out that Profit Quest because it blows my mind that not more people look at me. Look at me in the face. It blows my mind. Do you think I'm joking right here? Blows my mind that not more people join that competition. It's literally a competition that costs $5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I know we're worldwide, and I don't know how much coffee costs in other countries, but if you go to Starbucks here in America and you just get not a small, but like a regular, I don't know, I say small, medium, large. They got the venti, wenti, genti, blenti, all these crazy ass names. But but if you get like the medium coffee at Starbucks, my wife knows the names, but if you get the medium coffee at Starbucks, you're paying more than $5. I got 2 coffees the other day. It cost me $15 for them, 2 coffees. $15. I could have joined this competition 3 weeks in a row and then potentially won $750. And let me tell you right now why it's crazy that you're not entering this competition. Look at this. Whoop, that was awkward. Look at this. The Profit Quest, right? $5 to enter, right? $1,000 minimum prize pool. $1,000 minimum prize pool. And if enough people enter this competition, the prize pool only goes up. The other thing, right? This competition right here is starting on the 13th of April. So it's starting on 12, 13, Sunday. Sunday at 5 p.m. this competition starts, right? 1,000 people, or $1,000 we're giving away. First place wins, I believe, 75%. Yeah, 75% of that. So that's $750. And look at this. Look at this. 2 more days till it starts, pretty much. A little bit less than 2 days. And we only have 31 people in that competition. What does that mean? And don't worry, we're okay. We don't care that we've given out over $100,000 in prizes so far. We're the Oprah of the Forex community. We're just throwing money around, and we love it because it makes the community and it makes the industry better. But guess what? 31 people. You're only competing against 31 people for that $750, right? Let me go to one of our free competitions, right? Like, let's just go to the day trader from yesterday, right? No idea how many. 544 people, just a random free competition. We got like 2-3 free competitions a day, and this is just a random 1-day free competition. And we got 544 people in this competition. And you're telling me that you feel more confident to join that competition and potentially win a fairly small prize. Well, I mean, you win just, I believe it's just free entrance. Yeah, so you get free entrance, which is $25 value, and then second and third place gets Profit Quest entrance, which is a $5 value. So yes, you could win a lot more money by winning this competition, but it's a 1 in 544 chance of winning a $25 entrance fee into a competition where you then have to win again first place to win money, or you pay 5 little smackaroos. I know you guys are spending this on random stuff anyways, and you enter the Profit Quest competition, and it's a 1 in 31 chance to win that competition. Now, if you're telling me $5 is crazy, then where's my right here? If you're telling me that $5 is crazy for you, okay. Not everybody can afford everything. But if you're out here spending money on coffee, if you're out here eating out for lunch every single day, if you're going down like Master Trade for Best and going down to the arepa stand every day to get yourself an arepa every single day, if you're paying for PlayStation Plus or Xbox Live, if you're wearing Jordans every single day, if you got nice sneakers every single day, and you don't want to spend $5 to potentially win to have a 1 in 30 chance of winning $750, and that's just 1 in 30 as if it was a lottery. I'm not putting into account your skill. If you have skills, or even if you know a little bit about trading or potentially luck in the market or anything like that, and you got some sort of analysis, put that $5 in, brother. And guess what? You don't even have to use $5 real. If you got some promo credits, let me put you in on a secret. You can use promo credits to enter competitions. That goes for the $5 competition or the $25 competition. So if you happen to have $25 worth of promo credits, so 2,500 promo credits, enter that competition, man. Enter it. You could win a really good amount of money. Now, first news story. The dollar. So tensions are rising between the U.S. and China. The global currency markets are feeling the heat. I already talked about this. I just realized. Well, I already got the graphic up. I already got the graphic up. I don't think I had this graphic up last time I talked about it, so I'm going to go run through it really quick because it leads us into our next topic. But the U.S. dollar has plummeted to its lowest level in a decade against the Swiss franc, hitting a 3-year low against the euro. The move comes as trade tensions between Washington and Beijing reach a boiling point. Sorry, that was ASMR right there. China announced retaliatory tariffs on U.S. goods this week. A move spooked investors, triggered a broad sell-off in U.S. stocks and treasuries. As fears spread, traders are rushing into safe haven currencies like the Swiss franc and Japanese yen, both of which saw significant gains. And of course, like gold, like we just went over, gold had massive, massive gains. All those jewelers in New York are loving it right now because their inventory just tripled in value. So congratulations to all those jewelers in New York who have really, really crazy inventory levels. Next up on the docket, we go into what everybody has been waiting for, of course. USA versus China, Trump versus Xi Jinping. I believe I said that right. Xi Jinping. Well, this week, the U.S.-China trade war was reignited fast and furious style. Unfortunately, no Supras in this one. Master Trade, before we go into that, Master Trade for Best just said, it's a strong opinion I have, but I share it. We know who said 3 months as an extension to reestablish tariffs. I'm seriously thinking that the DXI will make a double bottom in the same period of Master Trade for Best, always coming with the greatest analysis and comments here. If you're not in our Discord, join our Discord right now. Hit that link in the bio and click the Discord button to join our Discord. It's, of course, like everything of value that we provide to you, free for you, just like our course will be free. And then you get some expert analysis from great people like Master Trade Tress Ford Best. I know I keep saying your name wrong. I'm sorry, brother. But you get expert analysis from him and many, many other people. We have a live feed of news, anywhere from crypto to Forex to world news. We also have all of our social media updates in there, giveaways in there, and a trading bot. That's the other thing. That's the last thing. We have a trading bot in there. The rest of his sentence in here, though, was, I'm seriously thinking that the DXI will make a double bottom in that same period of time. When several nations make an agreement, the DXI will fly and show strength, but I'm seeing the DXY around 95, and combined pairs will continue to fly. Euro USD will pass 1.15, and GBP USD will pass 1.36. Gold. You know what? Before we get into this, sorry, Trump and Xi Jinping, you guys are going to have to wait. I want to hop into these charts real quick to kind of go over what Master Trade for Best is saying here. So he was saying that the DXI will fly, but I'm seeing the DXI around 95. So right now we're at 99. So he's saying that we'll see it go down a little bit more. Probably, wow, we got really... All right, so he's saying he'll see it around 95 flat. I'm assuming he means 95 flat. So he sees it going down potentially even lower, all the way down to here. By when, we don't know, but we'll just say, where are we at? Wow, sorry, my mouse is very, we're just going to go. This is close enough. I know you said 95, but yeah. So we're going to see, he's saying that we'll see another decline a little bit further down here around 95. And then, of course, combined pairs like Euro USD will fly. So he's predicting here, and his forecast is of Euro USD will fly all the way up to or pass $1.15 or 115, which we're just right here at the precipice of hitting that. And then he's saying GBP USD will reach 1.36. So GBP USD, he's saying 1.36, which that would be a huge jump here. I'd be very interested to see that. If you think, yeah, that would be very interesting. So we're saying 1.36 now, which would be a enormous jump here. I'm in the 1 minute chart. That's why. Yeah, which would be a fairly large jump here. And then he says gold will reach $3,400 an ounce. So another $100 about here. Another $200 about here an ounce. Very, very interesting. I would have to agree with most of those things. I think the GBP USD is probably a little high, but I mean, who knows? What do I know? I think it could definitely hit that. And that's just a little peek of what you could see in our Discord. But back to the big guys over here. The band for band. U.S. and China is going band for band. We're going dollar for dollar. We're doing the I can't think of a way to say that in a nice way. The dick swinging contest here. Who has the bigger pockets? We're seeing who's going to fold first. And this week, the U.S. and China trade war reignited. I'm going to get through this story now. And then, of course, if you guys have any comments or anything, make sure you put them in the comments. I'm looking at them all. But USA and China. So this week, the U.S.-China trade war was reignited. Fast and Furious style, like I said, no Supras in this one. But let's break down the escalating timeline of tariffs, tensions, and the economic fallout. So it all began. What was Monday? Was Monday April 5th? No. That was Saturday. So it all began on Saturday, April 5th. When President Trump announced a sweeping 10% baseline tariffs on all U.S. imports, sparing only Canada and Mexico. That move sent shockwaves through global markets and targeted major trade partners like China, the EU, and Japan. If you guys watched last week's episode, you'll see that, or if you guys were live last week or you just went back and rewatched, you can always go back and rewatch on YouTube and Twitter. But in last week's episode, we kind of broke down all of the reciprocal tariffs, how some of them will be, the key will be, back on when we were just going over those charts. Master Trade for Best just said he's looking at it at a 3-month timeline. So those prices for 95 for DXY, 115 for Euro USD, GBP USD 1.36, and gold 3,400. That will be within the next 3 months. But if you were watching last week, you'll know that we kind of broke down all of the reciprocal tariffs, ones that make sense, ones that are kind of funny, like some of them on islands where nobody lives or there's no residents or of those islands. But we'll go over here in a moment. Most of those have been postponed or paused, however you want to call it, for the next 90 days. So April 5th, it all started with the 10% baseline tariffs, and of course there was a bunch of other kinds of tariffs, but that sent shockwaves through, mostly to China, the EU, and Japan. And then just days later, on April 7th, which I believe was Monday. Yes, Monday. So on Monday, China had to respond to Monday. They don't work on Saturday or Sunday. But on Monday, April 7th, China responded with a 25% retaliatory tariff on a wide range of American goods, from soybeans to beef to electronics and machinery. Markets began to tremble, and analysts warned that this could lead to a spiral, a recession, and tons of market volatility, which it did as far as the market volatility aspect. Then on April 9th, 2 days later on Wednesday, Trump attempted a partial de-escalation, announcing a 90-day pause on most new tariffs, but not for China. China, on the other hand, instead, the tariffs on Chinese goods were increased from 25%. Sorry, that was China's tariff. from like it was like 60 something percent, I believe. I don't remember the exact amount. I could have sworn I wrote it down. My bad. I'll take the L on that. But I believe it was like 64% or something like that. But from that percentage, they were increased to 125%, with the White House later clarifying that the cumulative tariff is now at 145%. Excuse me. It's just tariffs got me there. Oh my god. 145%. Jeez Louise, man. Which, crazy thing on that is around that time, I believe Nintendo also announced that they're postponing or pushing back the launch of their new Nintendo Switch 2, which, if anybody knows, comes from that region. Actually, I think it's Japan, now that I think about it. But either way, they moved it back because of those tariffs. So in response to those 145% cumulative tariffs, or base 125% tariffs, Beijing responded decisively and swiftly the next day on April 10th. So remember that raise up to 145 happened on Wednesday of April 9th, and on April 10th, Beijing decisively responded. China raised tariffs to 60% on key U.S. imports, so from 25% to 60%. And on April 11th, the next day, or this morning, remember, I'm in Eastern time in Miami, so we're a little bit behind, obviously, in China. But yesterday, they raised prices or tariffs to 60% on key U.S. imports, and by this morning, April 11th, that number had jumped to 125%. China's message was clear. China would match the U.S. move for move, which of course was my biggest fear here. So what does that mean? How did the markets respond? What does that mean for markets? Well, the US dollar plunged, hitting a 10-year low versus the Swiss franc and a 3-year low against the euro, which we just looked at when we were going over those charts. The Dow Jones dropped over 1,000 points, and safe havens like gold, bonds, and Japanese yen surged. I mean, we're looking at it right now. I'm looking at gold at the moment while I'm talking about this, the live chart here, and we're up to $3,230. $29. $3,030 though. Insane numbers. I used to buy and sell gold, actually. So, funny story. Let me finish this next sentence. So, the Dow Jones dropped over 1,000 points, and safe havens like gold, bonds, and Japanese yen surged. And economists now warn the tariff standoff could spark a global recession. So, a few weeks ago, we were talking about American recession. Now we're talking about a global recession with higher prices, strained supply chains, and failing investor confidence. Funny story about the gold now, really quick, before I wrap this last news story up, is back in probably 2019, 2020, I knew an associate that was a jeweler, and he got me into this little gold flipping scheme, but a thing that he found that you could do. So anybody in America knows about Walmart. It's a grocery store. It's if you can't find it in Walmart, you don't need it, is one of their unofficial phrases. But they sell everything from groceries to auto equipment to fix your car, to home stuff, to furniture, to exercise equipment. They sell everything. And they sell gold. They have jewelry. And I guess Walmart updates their gold prices once a week. So what this jeweler had put me on to is, and now I don't know if this still works now, but if you go to Walmart and if on Monday, if you look at the gold price and it's, let's say, let's say we're at $3,000 on gold on Monday, and then something crazy happens and it drops from $3,000 an ounce to $2,000 an ounce, right? If you go to Walmart, they have an update. They are not going to update it to the next Monday or whatever the day is. If they update on Friday, they're not going to update it till Friday. So whatever the next day is, they don't update it all except for once a week. So if you go to if Monday it was 3,000 and then Tuesday it's 2,000 or Wednesday it's 2,000, you go there and you buy up all their 14 or 24 or sorry, I think it's yeah, it would be all the 18 karat and 24 karat gold jewelry, bracelets, necklaces. Stay away from watches, but mostly stuff that's solid, that doesn't have a lot of pieces. Watches, we're going for gold value, not like brand or anything like that. So get any earrings, watch, bracelets, necklaces, stuff like that, and just buy all the chains and all that stuff. And then you go to a gold shop, or you wait, right? Go to a gold shop, and then once it goes back up, you sell it to them. Sorry, I did that the wrong way. If it's $2,000 on Monday, yeah, I completely said that the wrong way. If it's $2,000 on Monday, and then Tuesday it goes to $3,000, then you go buy it from Walmart, and then you go right away to another jeweler and you sell it to them for, they'll do it for like $50 below the amount or 10% below the cost of gold or something like that, and you're gonna make a lot of money. Yeah, I don't know why I said the higher amount first. Master Trade for Best said, I wonder how the Treasury Department will react to the massive sale of 10-year bonds by China and other nations. Yes, very, very interesting to see. We'll be looking at all the red folder events upcoming here. And some of this stuff I just don't want to talk about. It's just it's scary. But, from tit-to-tat tariffs to spooked markets, this week may go down in history as the moment the trade war truly reignited. The world watches closely now as Washington and Beijing gamble with the global economy. It's really crazy just that two countries and realistically now two people just gambling with the world economy. Now we're not just looking at Florida economy or even USA economy and China's economy. This is the world economy. It's affecting everything, like we looked at from Swiss francs to we saw oil. Let me look at WTI. Yeah. We've seen huge on April 2nd. Yeah, April 1st, starting pretty much as soon as April came along, we just started seeing a huge decrease in oil. Like oil prices plummeted. And some of that actually is affecting Russia and Ukraine because I believe so yeah, now we're at 62. Yeah, we're okay. Let me pull up this chart. This isn't one of our official news stories, but this is just something that I saw the other day that kind of was very, very interesting, kind of related to economic or the oil prices, economics, Russia Ukraine war, all of that stuff. But essentially Russia's economy relies heavily on oil. I think that's their biggest export is oil, and I think the stat I saw was like 30% of Russia's budget comes from oil. 30 or 40% of the budget comes from oil. So a very, very large amount of their budget comes from oil. And their oil, pretty much their war budget or their budget for war was based on oil prices being over $70 a barrel. Now, WTI is kind of like a world indicator of what oil prices are per barrel. And here we can see that oil prices were steadily around 60. I think their absolute lowest is like... Okay, so we went all the way down here to 68, but as long as it's around 70, they're really not doing too bad. I think their lowest is like 65 is what I was reading, but pretty much their budget is set at $70 per barrel. So this time where it was above 70 from December to, we'll say, oh, computer screen just froze, from December to about, I mean, it kept going above 70, but from December to about, what is this? February, end of February, beginning of March, they were kind of cruising pretty high above, at some points even up to $80 a barrel, which of course gave them a little bit of a surplus and to stock up. But recently we've really popped below $70, and it's been below 70 for a while, but it's been hovering around 70, getting all the way down to 66, 67, but going back up to 70, retracing, going back up and down, retracing, going back, touching 70 again. So they've been all right. It's just plummeted at the low war for more than 3 months, with it being below $60 a barrel. So very interesting how even just the trade war that we're having now with China and the United States is now affecting worlds completely in another wars in a completely in another part of the world that have neither the U.S. and China involved. Well, we're not gonna. We talk about economics here and finance and stuff, so we're not going to go into the war. And both of those countries are technically involved in that war, but we won't get too deep into that. Those exactly what happened. I got one more story, and of course, I always got to talk about something in crypto. I love my crypto. And this is going to be with crypto and taxes. 15th is the last day to do taxes. I still haven't filed my taxes. I'm having some issues right now. You know what? I'm not even gonna try. Yeah, don't. TurboTax sucks. That's all I'll say. But let's look at this. Let's do a quick 1 hour trade update, just because I like to always shout out to these people that are doing the 1 hour trading competition. So let's check out what they're doing. Let's see what's happening here. I'm not even going to try to say that name. But we got this guy in first place. 10.36% returns and no closed trades. We got Tweez in second place with 10.24% returns, only 0.12% behind from first place. We got Sakartachi in third place with 10.07% returns, only 0.29% behind. Look, this is what I love about these hour-long competitions here on BullRush is... so he's been trading the NASDAQ, but this is what I love about this is we're so close. So the top 3 people are less than half a percentage point behind from first place. We got second place with 0.12% behind, and third place 0.29% behind. And I'd be pretty willing to bet that if I hit that refresh button right now, this is going to change. So we got this crazy name I can't pronounce, Tweez, and this other crazy name. Let's see if they're still there. Okay, they were. And it's actually gotten closer, 0.15 and then 0.18 away. Wow. This updates so quickly. And now they're further back again, 0.38 and 0.55. Like I said, this is an insane competition. Wow. Well, let me go and say my last news story here, and then we'll cut this out. I'm starting to get over on my time here. But crypto, we're talking about the IRS and crypto. So, in a major shift for crypto regulation in the United States, sorry, I was drinking Red Bull. In the major shift of crypto regulation in the United States, President Trump has just signed off on a controversial rollback of IRS reporting rules. A move being hailed by the digital asset industry and watched closely by regulators. So, on Friday, the president has officially signed a bill to nullify the IRS's expanded crypto broker rule, which would have required decentralized platforms, including DeFi protocols, to report customer transactions to the IRS, much like traditional financial institutions. The Treasury's original rule aimed to close tax loopholes by treating decentralized exchanges and wallet providers as brokers, but critics argued it was unworkable, saying many DeFi platforms simply don't collect or store that kind of user data the IRS demanded. By DeFi, they're talking about people like Crypto.com. Crypto.com is a broker, but like MetaMask, which is a wallet, a DeFi wallet app. By revoking the rule, the administration is signaling a more crypto-friendly stance, a clear pivot in regulatory tone compared to previous years. The move was widely welcomed by the crypto community, of course, with industry leaders saying it will help protect privacy, innovation in the U.S. blockchain space. But critics, including some Democratic lawmakers and financial watchdogs, warn it could encourage tax evasion and further delay much-needed regulatory clarity for digital assets. While the IRS rule is now off the books, the broader debate around crypto oversight is far from over. With upcoming elections and growing market adoption, expect digital asset regulation to stay at the front and center on Capitol Hill. Oh, sorry, I was reading it. Mestre Breast's comment, but I already mentioned that out loud. So, yeah, very interesting news there. Unfortunately, this didn't happen a few months ago because I've already submitted my crypto taxes. And one thing, by the way, for anybody in crypto right now, if you don't know, and maybe I'm stupid for not knowing this, or maybe I just didn't think about it deeply enough, but when you convert crypto assets from one asset to another, so let's say $100 of Bitcoin to $100 in Ethereum, that is considered a sale of Bitcoin, or at least as of last year, that is considered a sale of Bitcoin and a buy of Ethereum. So any money that you made off that Bitcoin or any profits you have on that Bitcoin, you now have to report to the IRS, and then when it gets transferred to Ethereum, you know, same thing. Once you sell that or you convert it, it's considered a sale. So yeah, I pretty much held all of my crypto all year last year, and I had all these unrealized gains, and I was like, where did all these gains come from? And I went and looked at my crypto transactions, and it was like, oh, you know, $100 here, or like a couple $100 here, and I'm like, what the hell? And I looked, and it was just from converting, because I would hop all these waves in crypto last year where, you know, Ethereum was going up, so I'd convert my Bitcoin to Ethereum, and then XRP is going up, so I'd convert my Ethereum to XRP, and yeah, it's just rule of thumb. I might be a dumbass, I might have just not thought about that, but you know, just something to consider with crypto. But very interesting here. So no more IRS reporting rules for DeFi protocols. So yeah, no more crypto brokers and decentralized platforms will no longer have to report customer transactions to the IRS. Very interesting. I'm going to talk to my tax guy I know and see if this applies for me for 2024, because that'd help me out a little bit. But we will see. You guys have a good show. Any other questions here before I hop off? Like I said, make sure you use that code up there as always, our AMA promo code, and you're going to get a 100% deposit bonus. That means if you put $50 into the system, man, sorry, tiredness is hitting me today. That means if you put $50 into the system, we're going to give you an extra $50 for the free ski. So you'll have $100 to play around with in BullRush to join those $5 Profit Quest competitions. $5, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. So 50 times divided by 5 is 10. That means you can enter the Profit Quest competition for 10 weeks in a row without even spending a dime of your own money that you deposited. Just something to think about. So make sure you use that code AMA promo to get 100% deposit bonus up to $50. Make sure you follow us on all social medias. Make sure you follow us on Twitter at BullRushComp, Instagram BullRush_comp. Make sure you find, if you need any BullRush walkthroughs, you don't understand something on the platform, one, email support at BullRush.com, and they'll be happy to help you out. Our support answers within 24 hours, or two, go to BullRush at BullRush Competition on YouTube, and they'll be able to. We have tons of videos there about platform walkthroughs, what things mean on the platform, how to withdraw, how to deposit, how to do anything you need to know about the platform. We got it on a BullRush Competition. And then, of course, if you're watching this on YouTube, you're already on YouTube, make sure you like, subscribe, share it with your friends. Check out our weekly educational videos. We'll be releasing one here in a few hours today on BullRush Comp at BullRush Comp on YouTube. Make sure you follow us on Twitch or subscribe to us on Twitch if you're on Twitch and like this video. And make sure you follow us and retweet the video on Twitter if you're watching this currently on Twitter. I've had a great day. Quick little update. Let's see what we're at here. 53,469. So we got 60 extra people in the competition. Well, what did I say? More than 60. I said 381. So we almost got 100 extra people here just in the time that we are sitting here on this live stream in the past hour. So we're getting 100 people an hour here on BullRush. Let's go. I love it. I hope you have a great weekend. I hope you have an amazing, amazing trading week next week. I hope you're able to buy that Lamborghini, that Ferrari, that Aston Martin, that Supra, that McLaren, that Rolls Royce, whatever car, whatever I hope you were able to go on that trip. I hope you have a killer week. Trade that volatility, ride that wave. I'll see you in the next one. Stay beautiful. Trade, compete, and win.